announcements first.
Yeah.
Notice is hereby given that the meeting of the City of Sandy Oaks Planning and Zoning Commission will be held on Thursday, October 17th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. at Sandy Oaks City Hall located at 4451 Hickory Haven, Sandy Oaks, Texas 78112 for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. All agenda items are subject to action. So we call this meeting to order at 6:31.
You're here.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, what are we doing?
Our next item is to discuss and approve the minutes.
I'll call the order to check to see who's here, if we have a quorum.
Oh,
Do we
yeah.
have a roll
We need to
call?
call, yeah, roll call. Do you want to do a roll call? Okay. Stephen Groover,
Absent.
absent. Melissa Hadley,
Here.
here. Pedro Ozuna,
Here.
Joe Portman,
Here.
John Crickmer.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Excuse me, Ms. Hadley, is it going to be recorded?
It is being recorded.
Okay. I just didn't see the microphones to each person. Okay.
Okay. Now, see, I shouldn't have answered that, right? Discuss and/or possible action on approving the minutes from July 18th, 2019 meeting.
Without objection, I so move.
Need a second?
I second the motion.
Okay. We'll go to the next, right?
No, we take a vote.
Take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
The motion is carried.
Motion is
unanimously.
carried unanimously.
All right.
He's Joe, right?
This is Joe.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just trying out.
No, you are. Thank you. So there's a presentation by Tony Salcedo with Mendez Engineering regarding master plan with possible discussion and/or action.
The master plan is on the questionnaire part. We're now coming up with the questions to write up, to send to you all. And on those questionnaires, to answer them however you want. I got a lot of information already from a lot of the residents here that we organized the questions to fit that. It has 5 different topics. You'll be able to answer that. And then from that, we'll write our report of the master plan. That's the master plan that will guide the city. Yeah. So, any questions? No? Question?
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
Last time they didn't let us ask questions, so we didn't.
Who's asking me that?
Oh, yeah.
I understand,
No.
but that was why we're not saying anything.
Oh, okay. One on here, discussion, for discussion or action. So we can discuss it. Do you have a question?
About the master plan?
Yeah.
The master plan?
Yeah.
Well, I have them for Monday.
On Monday?
Master plan, 21st. This is planning and zoning, right?
Right.
And then the 21st is the bond.
It's a town hall.
That's the bond, yes. That's not the master
But
plan.
you're doing the master plan now? Okay.
Yes.
I read the agenda, I just didn't know that you
Oh,
were
okay,
discussing
okay.
the master
Okay.
plan.
I spoke to you on the phone. I used the information that I got from you on the phone.
Uh-huh.
Remember when I was asking you questions?
Yes, sir.
I used that as some information. But if you have anything else to add, be happy to consider that too.
Do you have the questionnaire? Is that something
I have
we
a
can email?
question.
I
When,
didn't get it.
when are we gonna have this survey? Do you
I
a
should
date?
have the questions done. I'm almost done with the questions. I should have them done this week.
Is it
So
gonna be-
I'll send them to city council, pardon me?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'll send them to city council for a review so we can look at the questions, make sure that they're worded right, and then we have to break them into 2 languages, right? And so we'll have all the questions in both languages, and then we package them up and send them out.
Is it gonna be a mailer or
A mailer is gonna be on the website. It's gonna be however many options we can get to
be on
do
a
it.
newsletter?
It'll be right here on the table. When people come in, they could grab it.
Right.
It'll be everywhere.
Everything, any way that we can get it out there. We need as many of those as we can get. The more, the better.
Would it be in Spanish, Mr. Salcedo?
Yep,
For
it'll
some
be
other
2
people?
languages. Yes, it'll be both languages.
Yep.
So you can do it.
How many questions do you think it's gonna be? I mean,
I'm
the
trying
length.
I'm trying to keep it between 25 and 30.
Okay.
Right, we have 5 topics. right? So we got land use, we've got public facilities, we've got infrastructure development, stuff like that. There's other information that's gonna be in the report that we don't talk about, but it's general information about your city, like one of the drawbacks for development in the city is no sanitary sewer, right? And it's gonna be a while to get that.
Yeah.
But what's happening with that and what the city's doing to work with that will be in there, be a paragraph on there. A lot of issues like that really are not part of the survey, but it's information about the city and what the city's doing to address that. Because later, you may want to reach out there and pick that and make it a priority. See? So, say right now, there's no sanitary sewer here, and it's far away. But one day, SAWS crosses the river. Well, now they're closer. Now, what can we do to hurry them up to come over here? And you can put that ahead.
That's as far as they are.
Oh, they're further, right? They're way out there.
I think my construction was
So
fun.
1604? That's far.
Yeah.
That's
I had a
far.
question about the timeline. So by when do we want to have the questions, and then when do we think we're going to mail them, and when do we
So-
want to finish all this up?
So we can have the questions done this week. So Monday we'll pass it to City Council to take a look at the questions and find, okay, we're okay with this, and then we translate them, right? We can do the mail out soon after that. So the City Council meeting is when?
Next Thursday.
Do you want to do it then? Or how do you want to do this? Do you want me just to send the questions over for review, or just write them and send you the questionnaire?
I guess my question would be more in general. Are we expecting to finish this year?
Yes.
Send
Okay.
her,
That it's, November, December,
Right. Well, yeah, here in November, we want to be able,
the holidays.
a lot of the decisions a lot of the work that you guys are doing is based on that master plan.
from the survey results.
Right. And so it prioritizes the type of zoning the people want, what they want to see, and then you can start thinking about your ordinances. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
The ordinance is already there. The county
Yeah.
uses them, just take them, and redo them. And then guide, start guiding the city where it's going.
Do we think we'll have a meeting in December 3rd?
I have to look at the calendar.
I mean, we have to plan out how many more sessions we
we can
have.
have one in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we could have, that's something we need to
It's gonna be
consider.
a week.
It'll
You're
fall
gonna
on
send
Thanksgiving.
The mayor, city council, your stuff,
Yeah.
then we can have a meeting after that. I would suggest electronically sending it to her.
Well, that too. I mean, we can mail
Email
them
to
and-
the city. That's just what I suggest
Yeah.
for quick,
So,
to expedite it.
I'd like to interject a little thought here. One of the reasons I live out in the middle of nowhere is I want to be left alone.
That's right.
And I know an awful lot of the people that live here in Sandy Oaks are going to have similar thought process. They don't want to live, in quotes, a city with a large bureaucracy. So I think we should make pick a philosophical direction about what we want to have, much more than the technical. Once we have a philosophy decided, then the technical should just fall right under it.
That's right. And that philosophy has to engage the whole community.
That's
We
exactly
all gotta
right.
think alike. If you
Yeah.
don't,
No, well, I can guarantee you, you're gonna have fun getting 1,500 homes to agree on anything.
It's more like a framework.
Yeah.
But
Framework.
And so what the city does is you're already part of a bureaucracy, but it's
Oh,
a
no
larger,
kidding.
a larger bureaucracy. You're all, the
Part of
county.
the state, part of the county.
Yeah, and so the city kind of brings you in closer and keeps some of those big rules away from you,
Well-
which is better.
Yeah.
But you got to control how you grow.
Well, I'm from the less is more school, so I'm not an obstructionist, I want to, obviously I own property in here, so I want to enhance the value of the neighborhood. That's a selfish reason, I'll be happy to say that. But, you get into situations like when I'm dealing with the city of San Antonio for permits, it is a nightmare. Of course, it wasn't a whole lot better, but,
Well, you're going to be establishing those rules here, but you're establishing those rules for your own benefit.
For my own benefit and for the benefit of my
Well, for
neighbors.
instance, when somebody puts a driveway into you, you say, hey, I'm gonna build my house, I have a vacant lot. So they move in, they're gonna build either a stick house or trailer, whatever, they need a driveway. Now they have to consider the drainage part of the street part, where they put the driveway.
Well,
pipe,
not only
what
that,
size of
drainage-
pipe.
That right of way contains many things. It contains gas, water,
That's right.
electricity, phone lines, and now
right.
in some places fiber. So
Yes.
there should be a well-arranged permit deal for anything that involves moving earth.
Yeah,
100% I'm with that.
yeah.
And I think, but just want to fall short of, no, you can't have a flag, you know, I'm
That's,
Yeah.
neighborhood associations or whatever, that's what we
Yeah.
don't want.
yeah, we
And
That's why
so,
we got
and
rid
so
of the
as a
HOA.
city, you can
Property
control
owners.
I
that.
don't want a bunch of hall monitors running around
Yeah.
tattling on people.
Yeah.
I guess that's a tough way to
Yes.
put it.
Back to the survey, is this one per person, one per household,
We're sending it to
registered
every-
voters,
We're sending it to
adults?
every address.
every address? One.
Right, and so do you want to send more, one per person? Because they'll be here that you can pick up. If you have it at your house, you can make a copy and send it. Right.
So
Can't
it's,
you just
so-
put something on there, write something on there that there's more people in the household that want to fill one out, that they can come get one from here?
We can put it where they're available,
Will it be-
available at,
well, is that our decision? Are we deciding that? Or is that decision already made?
no,
One per household or one per adult?
no,
or-
it's
Well, a
not.
minimum
Is
of
that-
one per
Yeah.
household.
Well,
No,
is it
it's
a city
not. That's why we want
is
to
it
meet
a
with the
city
council to see,
Okay.
how do you want to present it? How do you?
Is it a city council thing, or is it a planning and zoning thing
For the survey?
for the survey?
No, it's a master plan.
Yeah,
He's
it's a
running the
master-
master plan.
I got you.
Yeah, so however you,
Consideration needs to be made for how do you validate that all responses came from residents here?
Yeah.
If you make it available for somebody to copy, they can
Yeah.
go share it
With everybody
Right.
in their brother.
at the bar across the freeway, their neighbors in town, all their coworkers. I mean,
And
I don't know. I
This
mean,
is a fine point, but is it the property owner or the resident that has to say?
I think property owner.
Question.
Property owner.
It's a
I would
I
technical
like-
would think
question.
the property owner.
right, so the address will go on the VCAT. Whatever's on
I would think
VCAT.
that would be the best way to do it. Send it
One
to
per
the
household.
Yeah, registered owner.
But if that guy's had a tenant for 10 years,
Well, that tenant will have something to say to the owner for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So I suggest one per household. And we can keep track by the address.
Well, is it
If
gonna be
not-
anonymous, or will they put their name and address on it? when
Well,
they
I
send
was
it in?
gonna ask those questions, you know, but then I took them out because I don't know, I want cooperation.
Right.
If I start asking personal questions, they might say, I'm not gonna answer that, and they don't give. So in
Right.
order to encourage cooperation, I'm trying to I kept it anonymous.
Okay, that was
You
my
know.
question.
That would be difficult then if we're trying to keep it by household
Well, you use a
to
key
verify
number.
that.
Key number and tag it back to the database.
What are we gonna do when we have multiples from the same address?
Multiple.
Owners?
Surveys
Surveys.
from the same address. What are
You
we
could
gonna do?
Yeah, that was actually a really good idea Joe had.
Yeah.
A key number for database, is
Yeah,
that what you said?
in the census, there's, at the top of every
Yeah.
one of them,
Has
there's
a
a
different
unique number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know.
so it does help with,
And then so if you copy it or whatever, they know that those numbers are.
yeah.
So is the paper copy going to be the only submission? Or are you looking for online submissions as well? And if
That's my
so,
question.
how do you manage that? How do you manage duplicates?
Well, I wasn't worried so much about duplicates because we haven't had very many people participate.
Gotcha.
I was going to make it anonymous, send it to the households and have it available to people who want to answer it. We have 4,000 residents, plus or minus, right? If we get 6,000 questionnaires back,
4,000.
That's a
we have
problem.
Yeah.
We don't have a number of how many households are in,
We
Our city?
We have about 1,350 rooftops.
okay, there we go. That's how many we need.
Yeah.
That's our real number.
Yeah.
Would
That's
they
our more
mail it back to
realistic.
the city, or do they
Well,
bring
we
it?
mail, even the empty lots has a VCAD,
Yeah.
has a VCAD.
Unless they've never been sold. I think now everything in Sandy Oaks finally has been sold. for a long time. If a lot had never been titled to an individual owner, you couldn't find it in BCAD. I found that out the hard way.
But you can't find it, you wouldn't be able to find the physical
You're
address.
talking
That's
about the
right,
county registration?
Yeah, Bear County,
Yeah, Bear Appraisal District.
yeah, Bear County Appraisal District. They have a pretty nice interactive map.
Yeah, because of the participation, I didn't see a problem in getting 6,000 for the one that we have. I just, I didn't consider that, but we can consider that. I'm hoping we get at least 1,000.
How
I'm hoping we get,
how has the participation been?
not very good.
I would
Like,
say
not
10%.
very good. Yeah. I was
If
gonna
we
say
get 135, I would say it was successful. 10% of the 1350.
Yeah.
percentage-wise,
Leave me alone
how
attitude.
percentage-wise, how much participation have you had?
2%.
2.
Oh, probably not that much.
I wouldn't even say it's that much.
I'm generous, 2%. Not very much.
Right.
Then
All
I
the
think-
committee people, you guys, all the council, a few people,
Yeah.
whenever I talk to anybody, right, even though it's a conversation not about the plan, I always take questions from the plan and get a chance to talk to them, and I use that information.
Well, I think an issue might be that a lot of people don't understand the importance of being involved in their local government.
Well, however many we get, let's say we get 100,
That'd be good.
right?
That'd be great.
We're gonna write the report based on those 100.
That's right.
Yep.
Prioritize all the tasks for the city growth up on those 100. So when that priority list comes out and you start working on it, people will start getting involved and start wanting to change that, right? And so they have to start working on it in order to change it. And so then you get more participation, then you have more input on the plan, and you can change it. If you make an adjustment, you can make an adjustment.
No, I'm with you, I'm just,
I think the key is gonna be that if each one of us communicates to our neighborhood, like where I live, I communicate to people in the area, and they come up to me and they ask me questions. So if we communicate to our neighbors what's going on, they should know that we are on this committee. And if they, ask us questions, we can answer them and tell them, hey, you got this thing in the mail, fill it out, because it's important,
Yeah.
Talk it up. That's the main thing.
I think a lot of people I've seen have been on Facebook. I don't know if that's maybe putting an announcement out saying, hey, on Nextdoor, I know it's very hostile, but I mean, I would put it on
It's not
social
a-
media. Just say, hey, look out for this.
Yeah.
It's coming in the mail this week,
Yeah, it's not a very
That might help.
complicated plan. We have stuff that we need to take care of, and we're gonna be taking care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the city have a Twitter account?
I think,
In regards to, and I'm not the social media person either, because y'all know I don't even do Facebook. But Twitter, it's short and you're sending information out. So people could tag us and they could hear whatever events are coming up, like something like this. Because you don't want the back and forth type of thing. You want to disseminate information.
just my opinion. I'm on social media a lot for client wise, all that stuff. So, but I am a part of several groups with Grace and with, actually I think Mickey might be a part of some, I don't know, a bunch of people. And there is quite a bit of traffic on Facebook, with John as well. Facebook and Nextdoor. Twitter, in my personal, I'm on Twitter. And I'm in the younger crowd. I'm on Twitter, and I've never come across anything with Sandy Oaks.
The schools
and,
went to that as
Did
a
they?
way of disseminating information.
Twitter?
Twitter.
I don't know much about Twitter.
Well, it has its place, but there's a boatload of kooks out there, because they don't validate anybody's ID, really.
Oh, well, we would have an official,
Yeah,
No,
No,
we
and
would
this
know
is
that
just
this would be
to,
our.
I'm just talking about the
The
followers
city.
and the people who
yeah,
post
and this is just to
comments.
put it out there,
Yeah,
just
just
as
to put it out there.
just
Yeah,
a
let me take
little
a question.
announcement.
Let me take a question. Go ahead.
It was just a point, to your point, as far as input.
Yeah.
So I don't think duplication is a concern, right? Because you want input right now,
Right.
and then later on.
Well, I want input from Sandy Oaks,
Yeah.
right?
but-
So,
But say you get a point that you say, oh, well, there's a lot of input for this item. Well, the item goes on your
Well,
list,
it
but
gets-
it's not.
It gets consideration.
right. So no, what happens is that, say for instance, that particular item, you get more people that are interested in that. Like,
Right.
more people are interested in the playground.
Right.
So when you put it on your master plan, that's a high priority, right? The council are gonna look at that. So when they budget, right, they're gonna budget accordingly.
But for right now, you want input, so
Right.
the survey should be widespread, and that way you get input, and then you prioritize according to that concern, right?
Right.
And to your point that you said, then you have people coming in and saying, oh, wait a minute, I don't think that's a priority,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, now if you wanna change it, you know, get involved. You have to
Right.
get involved,
Right.
run for office, get into the committees, because the committees could change it. Now, you can make your adjustments, and in about 4 or 5 years, you may see that, you know what?
It's not a priority.
Yeah, we better change our priorities, and it takes, you know, one vote, or where you all voted, we'll come in here, we'll change a page, put it there.
Right, and to your
Yeah.
point, you know, if you make it too personal, maybe people won't take the survey. But if you don't, you make it, you know, broad.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
You can
but-
have input,
But,
and at least you have input,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but they have a point too, how are we gonna know who's what? But I kept it anonymous because of that, because I thought, man, I have a hard time getting you to come out.
The number is good, you can get the number and still remain
Yeah,
anonymous.
yeah.
Right. But at least you have input. What you want is people coming to the table, right?
Yes.
And who cares if it's duplicated, because you're just gonna have that item on the list, right, of things to be
Well-
put on or talked about.
I think we're talking about two different things,
Mhm.
right? So it matters that it's duplicated, right? Because it could go outside of Sandy Oaks.
So somebody with no actual vested interest in
Yes.
Sandy Oaks could have
Because
influence.
not too many are gonna participate, and the ones that participate are the ones concerned about the city.
We want stakeholders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that's the only concern
Stakeholder,
about
yeah.
duplication,
Got it.
Yeah,
right? And so, but we keep track of it, like you're saying, by numbers or by something, there's a way to keep track of them.
Are you gonna be using the city of Sandy Oaks address list to do the mailer?
Well, I was gonna use BCAT as well.
Yeah, okay.
And that,
Well, the problem with BCAD,
It's like a year behind.
well, that's true. You're gonna pick up vacant lots and you're gonna end up mailing unnecessarily
Yeah.
to a non-existent, there's not a mailbox there. So I have a list that is
of residents.
of addresses, and it's
Okay.
based on the CPS billing,
Oh,
because if they
that's
have
excellent.
electricity,
Yeah, that's nice.
somebody obviously
There you
lives
go,
there.
yeah.
Yep.
What about the vacant landowners, that, They
If there's
get-
no electricity there, now what we can do, I do have a list from the appraisal district that was identifying renters versus property owners
yeah,
and vacant lots, so
Yeah.
we hadn't been mailing to them, but,
no, I mean, but the vacant lots are also owners,
Right.
wherever they live,
right,
so they'll get a flyer,
yeah.
right? And so,
But a lot of them are out of state or out of
yeah,
country.
if they're gone, they're not gonna be
Absentee
interested,
landlord.
they
But
won't do it, yeah.
And I-
The gist of my question was, is if you're running from a pre-validated list, then you don't have to put anybody's name or address on it.
Right,
You just address it to the
Right.
resident
Yeah.
You
of,
just address it to
Right
the
there.
resident, but in the actual survey itself, you don't have the address, you have that
Yeah.
over
A
here.
secret number.
Yeah, you have that
Yeah.
number at the top.
That
Even
sounds
a
good.
I
barcode.
like that idea.
and it would help keep anonymous,
Exactly.
you know,
Right.
and,
Duplicate.
yeah,
And duplicates,
and
yeah.
duplicates.
Yeah.
So it does both.
And they actually make a really cool piece of software for ScanSnap that will
Now,
scan these in.
the other issue is, and for duplication, like, for instance, you differ in your opinion about what's important with your husband,
Yeah.
right? So how do you,
On that one question, would we put our two answers?
you could,
Yes.
yes.
But it could make it difficult for them going through instead of
Your
just,
top two choices or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah, they can have the two check marks, right? And
Okay.
one in one, yeah, I mean, one in one color, one in another. I don't know, see, those are the type of things, like, if you're together, fine,
Yeah.
one per household. But say you differ, right? Say you differ. You know, and he wants his own, I want to put my own
Well, they
stuff.
probably have to come to a decision because they have to live together.
You'd think.
Yeah. So that's why, you know, when I broke that off at the office, they go, oh man, we can't be worried about that one.
Yeah.
So he's just, okay, let's just write the questions first, and let's see how we can go from there, you know. There are some questions that require an explanation. You know, like when we talked about the quality of life, we have to tell you what that means here. And that way you can focus your answer on, oh, I see what, you know. See, so there's some that are like that. Some that are multiple choice, some of that are prioritizing, and some are essay where you write your answer how you want. So, try to keep it. And I'm trying to keep it short so that you don't stand there all night, answering.
Most people won't spend.
Doing homework, you
Won't
know.
spend more than 3 minutes on
I
a piece of
know.
mail. This is a well-known statistic.
And if we have
Like
this
the
key
census
ID,
form, a lot of people won't answer it because
Yeah.
it's long and it gets kind of personal.
Yeah.
if we have this key ID number, then they can have a choice on the paper to do it electronically.
And they just
On the
enter that
website,
number.
they enter that number,
They could,
yeah.
yes.
So, if
So they can enter the key code.
Can we work that
Enter
out
the key
on the
code.
website, on your
Yeah,
website?
We can figure it out.
they, right.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's pretty dead simple.
Yeah.
So they can have a
Go on,
choice.
Punch in that number,
Yeah.
boom, take the
The paper
questionnaire.
will say, you can do it here on this survey now, or go to this website, enter this key number,
It's
and we
like
got it
you
from there.
Register your car.
Yeah.
That would be good,
Yeah, because if they don't have internet, they won't say they didn't.
Well, yeah, they had a
have
choice.
to do it.
yeah.
And if we do it, the more people do it electronically, the easier the count will be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you can select Spanish, English, whatever.
Right.
And then go through your questions.
Good ideas.
Cool.
So,
Man, hope we get some good participation.
you have anything for us as a commission? I know we're brand
Nope.
new babies.
I'm done with my part of here, the bill. Unless you have any more questions, then we can adjourn and then we can talk about this.
Sounds good. You don't want to keep that?
This one.
Do
Is
we
there
want
any
to keep
further
it on?
business?
Well, I don't know, do we have to, we're just gonna cover what a commission
I
is?
would recommend that we adjourn the meeting and turn off the recorder, and then we can have
Yeah.
open
This-
discussion.
All this is instruction on how to see.
what we're doing.
Yeah, what
Okay.
you're doing.
I move we adjourn.
I second.
The time.
The time is 6:57. Oh, you're my super duper fancy watch.
Do I need to do anything?
See it over here.